From a respectful professional relationship that seemed too good to be true, to a potential comeback from Charlie after almost a decade. Here's what Kurt Sutter really thinks of Charlie Hunnam. For one, I'll say the creator of Sons of Anarchy has had a pretty great professional relationship with Charlie, the same guy who played the lead role of Jax Teller on the show. If anything, they've shown tons of love and respect for each other in a bunch of different interviews.
You handpicked Charlie Hunnam as Hunnam, right?
Yes.
As Jax. Who do you see as the lead and the bastard executioner?
You know, I don't really see anybody yet because I haven't really started writing the script, and it's not until I'm in that process that I really start to see faces.
Even in the 2015 interview with Deadline, Sutter admitted that he and Hunnam were pretty close, but not all good things last after all, and that's probably what led to their volatile relationship. Now, no one's sure how long that was going on for, but in a 2022 interview with Cheat Sheet, Hunnam revealed that things became volatile between the two behind the scenes, and I'm talking about huge fights too. Not just once, but a bunch of times, especially during the production of Sons of Anarchy. Now, who would have thought that was going on behind the scenes? Definitely not me. But the fact that they've managed to always put their differences aside is commendable, and I'm not the only one pointing it out. You see, Sutter wanted to work with Hunnam again, even after everything that happened the first time they worked together. In fact, in a 2020 tweet, Sutter said that he'd work together in a heartbeat, as long as it was the right project for the duo, which meant he was already looking around for something that was good enough to make the cut. And I gotta say, Sutter knew exactly what he was getting into. Differences aside, he appreciated Hunnam's work as an actor. Even in a 2020 tweet, he talked about how he was super impressed by Hunnam's brutally raw performance in Green Street Hooligans. All in all, none of the conflicts were significant enough to overpower the respect they had for one another. I mean, take out the angry tweets, but mostly they've both spoken positively about each other. Whether that's an interview or just another post on social media, clearly they're ready to get back together, and fans are super excited for it.
And just to create absolute havoc among the fans is that the last scene of the last episode, Jax wakes up from a dream and he's on a Vespa pulling into a Starbucks.
On the other hand, Charlie said he became a better actor after working with Sutter, who he described as some kind of mad professor who pushes everyone to do their best work. And isn't that all we need once in a while? A good push to test our boundaries and explore our potential. On top of that, Hunnam also said he learned how to produce from Kurt, and he was super excited to dip his toes into the new world and make some great films. And that the next project they're up to? Guess we'll have to wait and see to find out. Until then, the stories they've shared about each other show the love between them. And one of Kurt's favorites was when he saw Charlie as family during one of their random meetups. I mean, there's definitely a lot of love between the two, but some of their sweetest interactions were when Kurt was shooting his new series in England and would meet Charlie more often. In fact, it even ended up being one of the things he loved most about England, since they lived so close to each other. Once a week or so, Charlie would come by on his bicycle, and they'd go on and on about the most random of things. But the sweetest night was definitely when Kurt and his wife Katie, who even played Charlie's mom on Sons, were missing their kid. But when Charlie made another appearance on his bike, the couple felt it was like seeing one of their own kids. They hung out for an hour or so, and it was sort of a beautiful family reunion. And let's not forget, the kind of relationship they share is really rare, and it takes a lot of time and effort to build something that meaningful. But if you're talking about Charlie, it's not surprising, because even in interviews, he comes across as a pretty down-to-earth and humble person. Sure, he's known for being rude, but that's not the case when he's around Kurt, and I know what you're thinking. We hardly get to hear about huge controversies involving Charlie, but here's the thing. There are a few incidents that might have set the fans off, like the fact that he called his marriage stupid, even after an 18-year-long relationship with Morgana. And I don't think I need to remind you how most actors in showbiz struggle to have long-term relationships, especially when they haven't even tied the knot like these two. And it doesn't look like Charlie's looking forward to it either. But I gotta say, with everything he's doing, it's pretty obvious his girlfriend's feelings are getting hurt along the way, which forced him to publicly apologize later.
I've been with my girlfriend 11 years, and as anyone knows, it's been a long-term, fully monogamous relationship. It requires work, a lot of work.
And while the mess was sorted out, the ups and downs in his relationship had fans questioning his attitude, especially with his celebrity friends, like Kurt. But for the most part, I gotta admit, fans love him and want to see him in better roles like James Bond or even Green Arrow. Not to mention his amazing sense of humor, which has made him the star of every interview. It's hard not to love the guy. He's given us one memorable role after the next.
I'm incredibly lucky. I have a very robust support system. My mom has always been my biggest supporter and taught me that anybody can do anything.
While being an eye candy in the process, especially when we're talking about his role in Sons of Anarchy, which is exactly where the duo bonded. You see, that's when Charlie got the role of a lifetime, the complex anti-hero Jax Teller, with a bunch of twists and turns throughout the 7 seasons of the Thriller series. I mean, that character was so intense that it stuck with him for a while, and he struggled to do other acting work, and leaving the show wasn't any easier for Kurt, fans, or even Charlie himself, and that's exactly why there were rumors going around, starting with Kurt's upcoming Netflix project, The Abandons. That's right, Netflix has teamed up with Kurt for a Western action drama series, but before you get your hopes up, let me tell you it's not going to be out before 2023. Basically, The Abandons follow a group of diverse individuals in 1850s Oregon, where a corrupt horse tries to get them out of their land, and this is something Kurt has wanted to do for a while now, even before the Sons of Anarchy. And then there was Deadwood. After that, he knew he was going to stick with the crime genre no matter what, and caught up with every single actor that crossed his mind. And I know what you're thinking. Did he reach out to his favorite Charlie? Well, maybe, but who knows for sure. As of now, the American director just teased the possibility of a new show, leaving fans overwhelmed with all the rumors, excitement, and whatnot. One thing's for sure, the Game of Thrones alum, Lena Headey, is definitely going to be in it.
I was like pages and pages long, and it was really unexpected from those two characters to be that kind of intimate and honest. And it was one of the best memories for me.
I mean, when you're talking about diverse outlier families, Kurt's taking it more seriously than you think. It's all about abandoned souls, the kind that live on the fringe of society. They're all coming together to form a tribe, their own family, and fight back against the corrupt horse. And when we're talking about so much action in a thriller series like this, I gotta admit, Lena was the perfect choice here. Having said that, if Charlie and Kurt are cooking something up, there's absolutely no doubt that it's gonna be insane for sure. Just think about it for once. If Charlie's gonna be in The Abandons, it's gonna be a potential comeback after almost a decade. That's right, generally speaking, it wasn't until the bigger roles like the Pete Dunham character in the 2005 movie Green Street that got the actor noticed for his talent.
The Yankee. Serves you right for fighting like a bleeding tart. But try that again, and I will kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, the Tom out of me, I get it.
But what really had him climbing to the top was the Jax Teller role that lasted from 2008 to 2014. And once the show came to an end, a spin-off of Mayans MC was released, which is gonna end sooner than you think. And that's exactly why fans are hoping for a surprise Hunnam comeback. Now, while I don't have any confirmed news for you yet, Hunnam responded to these rumors in 2022, claiming that there's something that isn't around Jax Teller, but he's definitely cooking something up. It's just that he's gotta iron out some details first, before revealing the final product. So whether that's exploring an idea or bringing a whole new series for us, only time will tell how that works out. But I gotta say, there's a lot to expect from him, because ever since Sons of Anarchy came to an end, Hunnam got bigger movie roles.
Thank you. That is a warm welcome.
Guys, he smells really good.
I must say, it's nice to meet you, Jimmy. You look very different on TV.
Thank you.
Like the one in The Gentleman in 2019. And who knows, he might be cooking up something with Kurt himself. I'm gonna let you figure that one out. So there you have it, from a potential comeback from Charlie after almost a decade, to a respectful professional relationship that seemed too good to be true. That was all about what Kurt Sutter really thought of Charlie Hunnam.